Harry writes, I'm a renegade, not a joiner. I've been on your diet as best I can since February 2021. He sent us an Excel spreadsheet, which is very impressive. He says, I've lost over 30 pounds, 4 inches on my waist. Before that, I dieted but lost some weight, but not inches. A lot of diets are like that. You'll lose weight because you lose the muscle mass, which is bad.
Right.
But you don't actually lose inches because you still have the fat, and they're exactly the worst nightmare that you could imagine. He says, what I like about your approach is the loss of inches and fat in my upper body where I carry a bunch. What I don't like is the inability to go out to restaurants because they're all using PUFAs. I agree with you. I do go to restaurants. I enjoy going out to restaurants, but it's very difficult to be healthy and eat at a restaurant. So, depending on where you're at, I'll just say a couple things on that. I have a restaurant which I go to. We have an arrangement with a manager, so they'll have food for us that's only cooked with butter, never with vegetable oil.
Mm.
It's an Indian restaurant. It's very, very good. We love Indian food, but I'll never go out to an Indian restaurant or a Thai restaurant or a Chinese restaurant. I'll never go to any of those or Vietnamese restaurant unless I have knowledge of the chef and that they're only using coconut oil or butter.
Right.
And in Indian cooking, traditionally, they used to always use butter, what's called ghee, clarified butter.
Uh-huh.
But now they use vegetable oil. But this restaurant, if you call ahead, they'll have certain items that they will tell you that you can order. They'll make specially for you just with butter. Okay, so that's one approach. Another approach is just going for something like burgers or steaks. If you go for a steak or a burger, you can eat that. Yes, it's cooked on a grill. Yes, they spray the grill with vegetable oil, but it's not much.
Right.
So that is something that I can live with. Burger, if you can have a little bit of wheat, a burger and a bun, the bun will have 2 or 3 grams of PUFA fats generally, but it's not the end of the world if you want to eat out. Italian restaurants are pretty good, especially if you can find one and they can only use olive oil and or with what they're making. If I'm at an Italian restaurant, I would never have soup. Soup has a lot of PUFA in it. They always put a lot of
Okay.
PUFA fats, vegetable oil in soup. But if I was able to eat wheat, I might have some of the pasta dishes,
Mm-hmm.
or they have veal and things like that. So there's things you can eat. I mean, sushi and Japanese restaurants are good, relatively good. I mean, I know there's stuff that they add to it, but generally, if you go to a Japanese place, you can have a fairly low PUFA meal. By sushi or sashimi is even better, which is just a
Oh,
sliced fish, with, I love it too. With the, do
it's
you
so
like
good.
that? Yeah,
Yes,
I
I
know.
love.
It's so good. So you could do that. And there's other things you can have minimal vegetable oil in it. So there's definitely ways of eating at restaurants. So I understand Harry's complaint here. I definitely understand it. I'm sort of with you there. I love food, and it's a bummer that things are made with PUFA fats. Now pizza, usually they use vegetable oil on the crust, but some use olive oil, which is better. If you're having no wheat, obviously you can't really have pizza. Don't tell me that you're going to have one of those gluten-free crusts or cauliflower crusts, and that I'm not into that myself. I'll occasionally cheat and have pizza, but I'm not going to go and have a gluten-free cauliflower crust pizza. It's not going to do
I cannot even imagine what a gluten-free wheat crust pizza tastes like. I mean, the whole point of pizza, like the really, really, really good pizza, has that like gluten stretch to it.
that. Yeah,
You know?
yeah, right, exactly, and a flavor that it develops if it's good. And I make very, very good pizza at home. Very,
Well,
very
we
good
have
pizza.
yeah, where I live, we have, oh my God, like the chain restaurants can't even get a foothold here because where I live, like there are Italian restaurants, like I don't know, there's probably 6 in the 3,500 people town I live in, and they all do good business.
Well, that Italian is a good food to eat if you're working on no PUFAs. I mean, it's one of the
Yeah.
better ones. So American, Italian, Japanese are your best bets. Or a restaurant like an Indian place, if you can verify that they're actually going to pay attention to you. We used to go to an Indian place and we said, no vegetable oil. And the waiter said, absolutely not, no vegetable oil. And then came back to that place later, another time, and there's a different waiter. And he goes, oh, we make everything in advance. It all has vegetable oil. I don't know who told you that, but we can't do that. So we left. But meanwhile, we had a high PUFA meal without realizing it.
Yeah.
If I'm really stuck somewhere, I'll eat at McDonald's if I have to. I'll just have a quarter pounder with cheese. And yeah, it has PUFAs in the bun and maybe a little bit, but not that much. It's one of the safer foods. And usually there's a McDonald's somewhere. So it's a way of not being too hungry where you're going to really cheat, and have something that you really shouldn't have.
Right, right.